Persia conjures up images of nightingales, roses, poetry and gardens. Iran makes most Westerners uneasy. Growing up in Europe and America, my brother and I sometimes felt as though Iran was part of our imagination. Yet we knew it was real. We had tasted its food, climbed its hills, smelled its roses. We remembered the smell of the long-awaited rain when it first hit the earth, the first day of spring, the way the branches of the trees swayed before a storm, and how the rays of the sun tried to pierce their thick leaves on, I can't pronounce, Pahlavi Boulevard?
Yes, or Valley as it's called today, yeah.
Okay, in Tehran. The colour and fragrance of my grandmother's roses, all these were real. I love the sense that Iran is so much part of you, and how did it happen that your family managed to keep this sense of your culture?
It was mainly through my mom's cooking, actually. So she would prepare all the meals that would take us straight back to Iran, whether we were in New York or London or elsewhere. It just felt like that was our connection back to Iran. And just life went on, and you know, we lived in the West and we grew up in the West, but it was those moments where we would smell the lovely green herb stew, or the fish and the rice dill during New Year. That's when it all flooded back, all the little memories that we had kept from Iran would come back.
Yeah.
I started talking to family members, my grandmother, the maids who've been with us for 60 years. And we started, you know, cooking together. And I would take my measuring cups because they would say, you know, it's a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And I really wanted to get down the methods. For example, the rice recipe in the book. You know, basically, it's, you know, people would tell you just boil the rice, steam it, and it's done. But I really wanted to make sure that people, and I certainly wanted to know, how do you make the perfect rice? When do you take it off the heat? You know, is it 6 to 7 minutes after it's been cooked al dente stage, then you take it off? So it's very, very precise. And that's what I wanted to do, go back to Iran and get the precise ingredients and recipes to the dishes. It looks
complicated, rice cooking. Are we going to find it complicated when we try it?
Well, I mean, at first, if you're just used to boiling rice, you may. But it's a real art to cook rice in Iran. They really take their time to cook it beautifully, to make sure the grains are long and fluffy. So after you get the hang of it, I think it'll be easy. So they have a rice, they have a stew, then they have accompaniments like torshi, which is like a pickle, where they have sabzi fordan, which is a bowl full of herbs with basil and tarragon, radishes, mint. So everything on the actual table makes sense. So, for example, if you have a stew, for example, the New Year's dish of fried fish and herb rice, because it's a cold dish, you serve it with pickled garlic, which is quite hot. So everything on the table is placed a certain way to make your body in tune, and you know, so that you can also enjoy it. And the flavors go together. So the 4 dishes, I would say, zeresh polo, which is Iran's answer to chicken and rice. As you have in China or Asia, you have Chinese chicken and rice, and the Caribbean, and you know, in Africa, chicken and rice. So zeresh polo, which, do you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's lovely tender chicken cooked with saffron and onions and butter, and it's served with zeresh, with our barberries, they're bush berries, which used to grow abundantly in England. And they used to make cordials and jams and all these lovely things out of them. And in Iran, they're used to create the sweet and sour effect in the dish. So zeresh polo, so it's chicken, rice, and zeresh, and it's beautiful. And then I would say fesenjoon, which is like the king of all stews.
What is that?
Fesenjoon, it's the walnut and pomegranate stew I was telling you about. So that's walnuts with pomegranates, and traditionally it's served with duck, in the northern region of Iran, in the Caspian region. But now people make it with chicken. And it's a lovely brown, murky stew that looks like a mole, but it's very different. And it's sort of like a very royal dish. It's a really nice one. Two more?
Yeah, I have so many. Cucumber soup.
Oh, the cucumber soup, which we're serving with for you today, is masta khiyar. Is a lovely yogurt with cucumbers and raisins and walnuts and dried mint. That's a really nice, cooling, very cooling dish, but also quite healthy because you've got the dairy, you've got the herbs, you've got the walnuts. It's really nice. It's similar to a raita or a tzatziki, like a Greek tzatziki, but it's got more things going through it.
That's one of the things that completely fascinates me about cooking, how each cuisine, there's some thread that follows through, like from tortillas to naan bread, from, you know, the pasta, the noodles.
Yes.
Noodles, when did they begin? China.
Well, there's a debate about that, actually. They do say that there is a pasta dish in Iran that was called laksh. I think it means slippery in Farsi, and then they say that the Persian merchants took this idea to China when they sold them windmills to them. So then that's how it came about. I don't know. Don't quote me. But it's you never know.
It actually sounds like an Indian word.
No, it is. No, it's in the book. It's slippery. What's the word for slippery? Any Iranians out here?
Your parents
slippery. Slippery. Lees, yes. Lees, something along those lines, yeah. And it's the name of a pasta in Russia as well. But you know what I really tried to do in this book was also give credit back to Iranian cuisine, Persian cuisine, because it really was a very influential cuisine throughout the region. You know, with the naan and the tandoor and the samosa, samose, all taken to India. And the influences it had in the region. I just felt Iranian food was very underrepresented. And a lot of people didn't know anything about Iranian food. And the ones who've eaten it were just blown away at the flavors and the combinations. So I really tried to give back in a small way to give the credit back to the Iranian culinary culture, really.